we will start off tonight going back in time ever so briefly. We'll first do a little intro because I did a little intro for Maves as well. Um, Getting into the reasoning of why we're even having a Kipley session to begin with, uh, is a number of things. One is that Kipley's backstory and side quests have been progressing for some time now, much more often, kind of passed over, and a lot of it happening in dreams that could could give way more detail, but also a lot of other people have dreams, so we have to cut it slightly shorter in most normal sessions. So that is definitely one of the reasons. Number two is we've had a lot of recent Kipley progression, with her leaning more into the Bone Mother, and having more conversations, seeming to have more of an understanding with her, and seeing her more as a kind of not full human, but more of a humanoid than before, after having conversations where she displayed the desire to feel human emotion and to understand what it was like to be alive. Um, but another major one is the Lich, because boy, oh boy, was the Lich one of my favorite parts of that encounter. Is when Kipley Gumorda, one of the few twisted minds of the six, decided that they were going to feel pity for an undead creature that had to do God knows what vile things in order to achieve its lichdom in the past, but looking kind of forward and seeing how its death was somewhat mournful, you decided to try and reach out and seek help. Not even knowing what help would be or what it would mean, but after shedding a tear for an undead creature, you asked the Bone Mother if they could do anything, and do something. They did. Um, as you vacuumed in the ashen remains. Kipley the Dyson always will be my favorite recap note that I've ever written down. Kipley Dyson to Lich. Um, as you, as you vacuumed in the Lich's ashes and kind of had this moment of confusion and fear, you later went on to see that it was more than just consuming the dead essence of an already undead creature, but it was a kind of second death for it. For it was defeated, it didn't have a phylactery to return to, and by the party being successful in the death fighting pit in the arena, it meant that it was a 1,000-year-old creature's demise until you gave it a new home, or the Bone Mother gave it a new home on your behalf. As the next time that you went into a dreamlike state, specifically when you were captured and unfortunately knocked out by the toxin gases that were put into the arena, an attempt to capture the majority of you, only sadly one of you falling to the gases effect, you didn't see the Bone Mother respond to you at first. Instead, there was the silent and kind of studying form of the Horned One. The not extraordinarily or unlimited power Lich, but is still a rather and decently strong being in life, now watched over you in death and had a small conversation, describing to you your body's condition and the peril that you might face, doing a little bit of gaslighting, with its encouragement to seek out the death of those around you rather than your own, and decided to, in the end, uh, bestow upon you what little essence or what little bit of energy that it had within its form on this material plane. And from that, the moment where Kipley woke up also became the moment where Kipley Gamorta became the daughter of death. And a number of things happened. One, you killed a small battalion of Herald soldiers by yourself. A fact that none of the others will fully understand nor see unless they go on one hell of a memory trip. And something that you don't really fully understand, as there's both pros and cons of this form that you were told of. The benefit, obviously, besides the overwhelming amount of power and fear that you were putting into others, was that there was a clarity of mind. For someone who suffers with almost a dance on the line of insanity and has to feel the burden of the sins that they committed in their past, while in this form and slightly thereafter, your mind was your own. Unlike many times in the past where you felt others were influencing you, trying to control you, or physically controlling you with a choice, a deal, a pact, or some part of an agreement that forced you to take one action or another, or to not go down a certain path that you might have wanted to. This was a gift. It was for a small shifter woman who had shed a tear for a creature that had not seen one in many, many years. But they did say there was a cost. Not something they would inflict upon you, but something that would happen from you benefiting and taking in this form's power. It wasn't seen immediately afterwards. But as we pick up in tonight's session, we don't go to the morning of, as the Six is ready to head back into town and potentially leave the shores of Portcliff. But instead we go back to the night prior. As you are huddled up around a campfire, drifting into a heavily exhausted sleep. One that you might have hoped, because of the state that your body was in, might be dreamless and fully focused on recovery. But sadly, some dreams come true. As you end up opening your eyes, you don't see the rolling clouds or grassy cliffsides of Portcliff. But you also don't see the black sand beaches, nor the river. Instead, Kipley sees something that is almost jarring at first as you wake up on cold stone and rock. Damp rock. As you look around, there is numerous amounts of small waves, almost frothing and swaying as they create small whirlpools. You can see dips in them as they become massive tidal waves, shrinking to that of a calm day at the beach. As it looks like you're in either the eye of a storm or some sort of strange tidal event. But the location, nonetheless, no history check or doubt required. Is something that you haven't seen in about a month, in almost a month and a half's time. Something that Megan hasn't heard of in almost an entire year. As you stand on a small stone pillar in the middle of the ocean, staring out at a wall of fog and shrouded mountain ranges. You can see the mountains piercing into the clouds above. You see no ships, no other land nearby, just you and this pillar where once another figure stood by you. This is, whether in dream or not, the same place that Evelyn Kroll took you all those months ago. Well, about a month and a half ago, when you initially decided to choose her as your sponsor.
Oh.
And when she initially decided to test you of whether you could handle being a warlock. As Kipley wakes up, what initial thoughts or feelings come to mind as you are awakened in this familiar but not particularly comfortable space?
I think after looking around and feeling these uncomfortable things of being judged once more, being under the scope of, am I going to make it? Are these people going to accept me? Being back in this area, I think she's just very... In this moment, this feels uncomfortable, but also unimportant.
Is that feeling of almost rejecting whatever this moment is, seeing it as but a small stepping stone in your very long journey of getting to where you are now, turning your eye towards the future. You can feel the air around you get cold, frigid. And you can hear the clack as a sound of bones slowly rustling settles beside you. And you can see, as you turn and look on the rather small rock formation that you're on, you see the looming figure of the Bone Mother. And now that you are this close, you haven't actually been this close to her in a long time. Most dreams, she's either on the other side of the river or having some sort of brief conversation using just her voice or a shrouded visage, as she did when you first approached her. But you can see she's taller, her form having slightly more mass. And you can see that her stomach has a slight bulge to it. Not overly large or concerningly so. But from the bone and pencil-thin form that she once adorned when she first revealed herself, it looks like she has changed in one way or another, as she silently sits gazing out into the mist next to you. She says nothing, almost as if appreciating the sights, or perhaps waiting to see what you might have to say.
Kipley would step up next to her. Looking out at all this expanse and just kind of take a really deep breath and exhale it slowly. And then she turns and steps in front of the Bone Mother and looks up at her.
Yeah.
Did you know that was going to happen?
You see a soft smile of almost amusement cross her face. As in this current form, you are not, fortunately, tall enough to reach eye-to-eye contact as she gazes out past you.
That's fair.
But you can see... I'm not going to state this now. You're not overly short. It's the fact that she is overly tall.
Yeah.
I will never hate on the short kings and queens of D&D. But you can see as she turns and kind of gently changes her gaze down towards you. There is an almost comical grin on her face. Whatever do you mean by that?
The horned one. When you, like, vacuumed him into my... I don't know what a vacuum is. When you made me swallow him. That doesn't sound right either, but you know what I'm saying. Did you know what he was going to offer?
It was a surprise. No. A welcome one at that, but I did not do anything. And by the way, vacuuming is not just an object. Vacuuming is an art. It is known as suction in some places. Even in spells it can be found, so you can use that term. I'm aware of it. However, I am unsure of the either confusion or blame that you seem to be putting on me at the moment.
No. No. No blame.
I would assume not, considering what he gave you was exactly a bad thing for you in the moment.
So you're not upset?
Why would I be upset? You dipped your pinky toe into the world of what I am when we forged our contract. But you willingly dove in when he offered you a gift. I couldn't be happier. Well, perhaps slightly more, but still satisfying nonetheless. You see, when Vander offered you that gift, it was not out of kindness, nor love, or anything that you normal humanoids would experience, no. His form was fading. It was not going to last very long, even in my own domain. But a willing vessel was to take on a part of him. There was a chance he could remain one way or another. And you accepted him with open arms. You see she looks back out, kind of gazing again into the fog. Still smiling.
I needed to protect them.
Damn. I think you needed to protect yourself, dear. Your mind was on your friends, but I think your body knew something else was of import. Form can do many things. Help is not one of them.
So it's... back to the part about it not being a gift.
You can view it however you like. But everything comes with a cost. You learn that very early on in your life. Whether you're celestial, fiend, fae, or human. I've come to prepare you for what comes next. Do you remember this place? Do you remember what you did here? You can go ahead and roll me a history check if you would like. Because I know it's been... That was session 4, by the way.
Oh, man.
So it has been over a year.
Okay.
I'm not going to hold you to that.
I was about to make some shit up, but I was like,
18!
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
That's really good. You remember in this moment. Remind me in this moment. Directly after the vassalship tournament, after everyone came out successful, one way or another, everyone had a bonding moment with their sponsors. I'm not saying bond as in like, oh, cutesy wootsy. I'm saying it was required for them to have a meeting with them so that you could set ground rules, understanding of what your job is, and more importantly, to see if they still thought you to be suitable as a vassal. For some, it was simple. The likeliness of Mammoth was just having a conversation. Maeve was having kind of a bit of witty contest of minds, discussing tactics, fighting, what the future would hold for Damballa. For Kipley, what happened way back when you first stood on this rock was 2 things. One, a small test of your observing skills, how crucial you were to detail, as part of the shroud broke off and started making its way stealthily towards you. And you remember seeing wings, kind of shrouded faces, but understanding that danger was near. The second was Evelyn Kroll making very clear how you would be different from the rest of the group. And not just the rest of the group, the other spellcasters of this world. As warlocks don't gain power in the same ways others can. Wizards can gain levels simply from studying, spending enough time, and memorizing and researching and beginning to understand arcana, but you were being rewarded for moving a creature towards a goal. And that's dangerous for a number of reasons. For those who aren't prepared, they can be led to work to their deaths. Others kept as pawns, slaves, or even just mindless drones that do whatever their patron commands them to, without question. And because of this, your second task was to visit the Bone Mother. You sat down and had a minor seance as Evelyn Kroll, using her own, that you know to be Eldritch powers, sent you for the first time into her domain. Back then it was misshapen. It was just a void. And all you could see above you was a single strand of dull and fading stars. That's where you first had your conversation. That's also where you first renegotiated your pact and learned that you made your first one while unconscious, as your body did and reached out to whoever or whatever was around to save itself. As you stand on it now, the memories come flooding back, as this was technically your first time ever meeting the creature that you had already been serving and doing its will for years. You can almost feel a smile creeping at your face as you now are having a full conversation with the true image of your patron sitting next to you in almost a casual setting. That is all that you can remember. After these few moments of silence, you can see the Bone Mother looks down at you as she can see the little Microsoft loading symbol above your head. Well,
I forgot what the question was.
you remember what happened, what you did in this place?
Yes.
What does it mean to you? All of this. She kind of gestures out around her. The roiling sea and tides. The shrouded mountain ranges. As you follow her finger, a small plot of black moving mist headed in your direction.
So, for Megan,
Mhm.
just to make sure she's understanding. So, the area we're in is not just a place like with Evelyn Kroll, but like with my sponsor.
As far as Kipley knows, you don't know whether this is a dream or not. It feels
Okay.
like one. But this is a complete one-to-one replica, and or you are standing in the same exact spot where you had this conversation with Evelyn about a month and a half ago.
Okay. So Kipley would look out at the darkness again, rolling. I remember my sponsor asking me for your name.
Nothing else.
just that comes to mind.
She wanted to know if our deal was how it came about. I told her the truth. That it was... It wasn't intentional, necessarily.
No.
No.
They saved you in the same way you are going to save me. Because all that time ago, you were also given tasks by Kroll. Find out more about me, learn my name, understand what I am. You succeeded partially, for the time.
I never would have given her your name.
Oh dear. She already knew it.
What the
She
fuck?
was well aware. That is not why she tested you. She tested you to see if you could get it. If you could make any grounds in whatever our bond, pact, whatever you would call it. Or if you would simply be a dog who obeyed commands. But we are different. You and I are bound by circumstance.
You... And
She smiles while she looks down at you.
Yeah, Kipley kind of takes a step back for a minute. Her eyes kind of bouncing across the rock beneath them.
What's the matter? You seem confused.
She looks up at the Bone Mother again. This time a little bit... Not disrespectful whatsoever, just in a different kind of view of one that seems to be looking upon someone like they've had a revelation. What? How could I possibly help you? I mean, aside from feeding you.
That is exactly what you are going to do. You have a glorious mission ahead of you.
She looks up into the night sky above.
When the creature is lost, when it is hungry, blinded, can it be of use in this world? No, it cannot. I have a greater purpose. your Shrouded Isles, as they now call it, needs me.
For what purpose?
To restore something that was taken from it long ago. I cannot do it in my current form. Not alone. But with every body and soul you feed me. Every step forward you take towards your destiny. You get closer to saving both yourself, your family, your brother, and me. I hold his soul now as a mere waiting gift for once you are done your work. Of course, as stated previously, all gifts have a cost. So you cannot have him yet. Not until Ravinica. Once you fulfill your purpose there, everything will make sense. You will understand. And you will shine the brightest you ever have, my starlight.
You see she stands up. The already sitting, roughly 7-foot creature now reaching heights of 13, almost 13 and a half feet tall. Back no longer arched or hunched, standing with perfect posture and kind of a sense of purpose, holding her head high, looking out into the mist. You see she looks down at you once more, although without a smile. You now see a more quizzical look as she looks down, from what you can guess, an attempt to see your reaction or how you are taking what has been said. She patiently waits for an answer.
What was taken from the world?
My purpose.
Well, I learned that in Ravinica.
You will learn that in much more. Your life, everything that led up to it, everything that happened up until this very moment, will all make sense. You will see your glorious purpose, and you will see mine.
And what of the rest of them?
Your friends.
Yes.
Cocks her head.
What about them? Worried that they might not fit into the grand plan?
I'm... I kind of see her eyes go distant for a moment before refocusing. I'm willing to sacrifice a lot of the world to help you. But not them.
That's right there. That is why you are the one. That is why I chose you. So many people are willing to sacrifice themselves. So many more willing to sacrifice others. But you are greedy. You would watch the world burn if it meant the few could live. You are unique, Kipley Gamorta. I hope you know. You shed tears for monsters. With my help, you see what others only dream of. And for that, you are constantly walking between two different worlds. I won't ask you to choose a side. I won't ask you to hunt, destroy, consume, burn. I never ask you anything more than to continue what you do in this very moment, at your very best. But hold strong to those ideals. You will need them in the future. Remember, heroes are only known because of their bravery, but mainly because of their stupidity. Sacrificing yourself for the world when the world continues moving on without you is not much of a sacrifice. But living, fulfilling, changing, something a hero could never do. Does that answer your question?
This world could definitely use a change.
It needs one, yes. But it deserves much more. Will you be the one to bring that change, Kipley? Will you be the shining star in the night sky that guides the future? Do you have that inside of you? Sparking change is one thing, but mounting the fight, the effort, the amalgamation of change. That is not an action. It is a choice of life. Is that something you can do?
Would you help me silence those voices again?
My dear, I did nothing. That was all you. As I said, you can make whatever you want of this world. You can help me change it. And that includes yourself. Although I will be honest with you, your state of being is temporary. The voices will return. So will your doubt, confusion, anger. But if you seek aid, if you seek to continue this state in which you are in,
She leans down, arching her back at an almost impossible angle to get face to face only a few inches away from you. And you can feel her chilling, cold, bony fingers run up your neck to your chin, putting your face directly in front of hers.
all you have to do is but say the word.
Thank you.
See the smile soften. She pulls away. You can still feel the almost numbness from where her finger last touched.
Please take care of Ezra.
I may be your brother's keeper in this moment, but I think we've gotten to the point where you can understand. He is still yours whenever you wish to see him.
Her form fades, dropping into a dark cloud, dispersing around you onto the rocks. You look out around you, and you can see in the distance that black cloud racing towards you once more. You can see the same leathery wings snapping in and out of it as it begins to approach. What is the thoughts and feelings that Kipley has as you are left in a situation that you do not understand?
Kipley does not know what the fuck she's supposed to do. But I think she feels like she actually has purpose for the first time. She's never been afraid of change. In fact, seeing the state of the world from place to place that she's traveled, almost everywhere she's gone has been not great experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing this dark cloud, this unknown coming towards her, I think she just kind of squares off towards it a bit.
Taking a stance of preparation. What is the initial thought Kipley has as its approach continues at a rapid pace? Feeling that in seconds it will be drawing near. Is it to fight? Flee? Control? Consume? Or any other thoughts that Kipley might have? What's the first one that comes to mind?
Probably something really stupid.
Twiddlywinks.
I think her first initial thought seeing this giant dark thing coming towards is, yes, like she's a little she's fearful of it, but at the same time she kind of finds it a little beautiful.
Beauty. God damn it. Okay. As you take a moment to watch this being, creature, collection, whatever it might be, stop for a moment, lowering your guard. And think of how in a strange way it can be beautiful. There is beauty in danger, there is beauty in death, and there's also beauty in the unknown. Although open to interpretation, of course, you feel in this moment as it begins to slow its pace, rapidly approaching, turning into a slow ascent in your direction. You watch in this dust cloud, this large collection of void-like smoke. It materializes,
Ooh.
stopping at the edge of the rock. And the form that it takes, haven't seen in quite a while. Not since the small conversation you had on the Dragon's Vow. Hello, sister.
Who?
You see Ezrin?
What? What?
You look well. Well as can be.
You
After
fucking
turning
scared
into
the
a monster.
shit out of me.
Am I that ugly?
No! Look, you can't be a giant cloud of black snapping shit coming towards someone and not be scary.
This is what I am in my current form. You know this as well as I.
No. No, I'm so confused. Why are you out? What? I don't understand.
What's the matter, sister? I thought you'd be happier to see me. It's been a while since I could take form besides a smoky cloud.
Alright, how are you here?
Through her gifts. Just as you can even perceive me to begin with.
Did you choose this form?
What? No. I didn't really have a choice in much, but can't really complain with the hand that I've been dealt. I never chose it to begin with. It just happened to end up in my hand.
Do you know your part in all of this?
I'd say I have a rather simple part as much as I understand.
Oh my god, Ezra, we're in so much shit right now.
You're in so much shit right now. I have to watch you be in shit all the time.
Look, you're with me. You're a part of me.
Well, in a way, yes. I hope you know you can still call. You have the ability to call. It's not cheap, but you can call.
I talk to you every fucking night and morning.
Well, you can also physically talk to me. But you never do.
Well, I didn't know you were the big black monster standing on the edge of the fucking ocean.
Context clues, Kipley, come on.
I'm not good with that. You know that.
I assume you got better after. I can't even count how many years it's been. Ooh, lost track of time.
It's like
That's a funny
20
thing.
something. I don't know.
Yeah, I almost said 30. You don't look that old, though. I'm not implying that you look that old.
She's got like a grumpy face.
The mist slowly descends past the rock. And then slowly ascends with just the face peeking over. But it is good to see you.
Oh, it's really good to see you. I'm so happy for you.
Happy for me. Why are you happy for me?
Because you've been fucking cooped up inside of this mess. And she like gestures to herself.
I don't want to say you get accustomed to it, but there's nothing I can do to change it. And then you've been working your rear end off trying to get it fixed ever since, so I've at least seen faith held fast. But it is good to see that my sister's thinking clearly again once more.
Did you... Can
Yes.
you see what happens out there?
whatever the land sees, I can. Did you lie on a pile of gold with a strange woman?
Well, it was my gold,
Yes.
and she wasn't a stranger.
I didn't say stranger, I said strange.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
well, I mean,
But I
it
think
wasn't
that
like
was...
that.
I assume not. But that was still the most... Probably the most fortune I've ever seen in my life, in our lives.
Oh my god, Ezrin, you should see how much fucking gold I have now.
I can see it every now and then when you glimpse into your token, but I can't actually see into it because it's a void of endless expanse.
Well,
When you pull it out, it's rather,
I'll start dumping it out at night so you can see
you
it.
don't have to. That's
Did you see the
unnecessary.
head?
Did you see what?
The head.
The head. The head?
Neep.
Oh! I have to say, sister, you've become rather gruesome in these recent years. I mean, I'm not going to say you weren't cutthroat before, but you are literally living up to that name.
Well, they deserved it.
Oh, I'm not going to argue that fact. They killed one of your dear friends. I would have done the same if I were in your position. However, I just wish it wasn't you that had to be the one to do it. For someone who already has lost so much and has so many voices already dancing in their head, another one is... Well, as you know, I'm not going to explain it to yourself. You're the one with the voices. I'm just one of them.
Did you see the other thing I did?
Yeah.
Do you
It's your
think I
first
was wrong?
time. Well, my cards of morality, as you will, all end up saying different things with different situations. But it involves my sister saving herself and damning the people around her in order to do so. Well, then you are justified in aces.
Whoa,
And
wait.
you were, taller for me for once, which was a strange sight to see. But nonetheless, it did concern me to see you like that as well. A brother has to worry. I saw that you liked being like that, and it made me fear for you. I know that it was not her gifts. I mean, I'm not always around when she is, and I'm not, of course, omniscient. I can't see everything, but I could see through your eyes briefly. It seemed like you liked being around their fear as they died.
It's... As when I have never felt so liberated and at peace. I don't even know what to do with that. It was like for the first time I
Was in control.
I could hear my own thoughts. It was like meeting myself for the first time.
What was the cost?
Silencing the voices of others.
I don't think that's what it was. That would be too simple.
I'm worried for you, sister. I'm overjoyed that you feel this way. I only ever wanted for you to be happy, living your own life, doing everything you wanted to do, but you and I both know the world is not kind.
There's no happiness in this world.
That's not true. You bring happiness to me, your friends.
But it's not real, is it?
I like to think it is. I really don't have much say in my current state. But the times that we shared together when we were growing up, even before we knew what was to come, even before our parents had already made decisions that would change our lives forever, we were happy. When you met you-know-who, you were happy. Even for a time. It can still exist. I just don't want you to sacrifice yourself to get there. Rely on me
Kipley's...
more, sister. In any way you can. And I'm sorry for cutting you off. Please continue.
Oh, no. Kipley's gaze is very disconnected, just lost in thought. And then she kind of brings up her hand for a minute and looks at it. And she looks up at her brother. I'll sacrifice whatever I have to.
What is the point of getting to the finish if you can't see the goal? If you can't see the result?
I'll see the result. I'm the daughter of death, after all.
Oh. Don't tell me you like that nickname.
I very much do. It's all right, brother.
You worry me ever so.
I feel like I'm seeing things pretty clearly.
Well, he wants to talk to you. I won't hold you up any longer.
Who?
Just said he. It was nice seeing you again, Kipley. Hopefully the next time we meet will be in the flesh.
I love you.
I love you always. Cloud disperses. You can see there's a break in the storm. A few beams of light shining on the rock that you're on. Bathe in it for a moment, closing your eyes, enjoying the warmth and the cold, frigid mist that has been forming around you. As you open them, the rock is no more. And you are once again in a familiar setting. Black sand, filling your view. I know, it's the
It's
first time I
so
actually got a visual
pretty!
for it. I know. I forgot to share it before, but I made this a few weeks ago.
I
Not
want
myself,
to
but
live there.
no, having that over my head constantly, maybe, but it'd get some getting used to. Either way, you awake on the beaches that you've become oh so accustomed to. And sitting in the sand behind you, you see a man. Tan of skin, brown, somewhat rustled hair. Just seems like he's staring out over the river in silence.
Kipley, like, frowns deeply as she kind of takes a few steps back, surprised. Looks around, looking to see if anyone else is here. And then she kind of slowly does a big circle around, kind of poking her head in their view.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello?
Head slowly turns and looks at you.
I think you're lost.
I think you're confused.
No.
Have a seat, Kipley. I don't have long.
Go ahead, if you can, and make me an insight check. 22. Damn.
Got
Megan starts doing a solo chess on the dice like you.
Never
Ooh.
happens in game.
Nope. Cherish it while it lasts. Takes you a moment to put it together. But more than almost anything else, if it maybe might be the angularness of the face, the tone, familiarity, the voice even.
Hmm.
For one reason or another, it reminds you very much of the Horned One. But the visage, overall, definitely a little more human.
She kind of stands a bit straighter and then softly pads over towards them and sits down next to them, and she can't help but look to the side, kind of looking up at them.
Yeah. You see, it is, despite the appearance after death, face is somewhat beautiful. You see solemnness over it. You see wears and lines of what's probably a soul that has bared many harsh things in life. But you see they turn, stare back at you.
I wanted to make something clear before I left.
Oh, okay. You look good, by the way. I mean, I liked the other way. I really liked the other way. But you look pretty good as a normal person, too.
I figured proper introductions were due at least once.
I'm Kipley.
Kipley, Gamordra. One of the two, yes. My name in life was Vander Yondu.
So let me go ahead and put this in parentheses to make sure we know it is from Kipley's solo session. Wee, boop, 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 boop. So there you go. You get his art and name in there.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's just a little cry.
He is.
You see, he just kind of stares past you for a moment.
What I gave you will stick with you for life. Ever changed. And for that I apologize.
Are you really sorry?
He looks directly into your eyes.
More than you could ever know.
Okay, that sounds. Okay.
Gift I gave you was not a small one. Nor was it one that came without a cost. I wasn't sure of what would come of you after you accepted. But I also knew that fate, potentially worse, or even death, lied around the corner if I did not act. What you feel right now, clarity, freedom of mind, it will fade. You will return to what you were before. In soul, at least.
God damn it.
But your body will never be the same.
What does that mean?
You accepted something foreign, ancient, dying. Your body will remember this. It will never be able to forget what it was like to become for just a moment. I had wanted to pass on to my daughter all those years ago.
What happened to her?
Killed. Burned alive. For my crimes, not hers.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. I was not a kind man in life. I was greedy. Sinful. I wished nothing more than to see the world continue and to be there as it would change. I wanted to be part of it. I wanted her to be part of it. Much was lost to achieve what I found. What I became. In a way, were forced to accept that. Even if it was a small part. It will forever be with you now. And for that I apologize again.
It's alright. If there's one thing I've learned, I think I'm pretty good at taking shit on. I might not deal with it in the best ways, but it's okay, you know. You can make a shitload of bad decisions and yet still make one good decision in your life.
See a tear begins to roll out of his right eye, plopping into the sand beneath both of you.
I hope that is true. And I hope you were that good decision.
I'll try and be worthy of it.
I will not be able to speak to you again. Not for a long time. But she can help you. Learn to control what I give you. What I give to you is not just destruction or the will to consume. It is the embodiment of fear. Something that can drain a man's life. But also, as you've shown, can protect others. Forge something new out of my evil. Don't follow the same wrongful path I did. In the moment I was struck down, I was overjoyed. Another creature, alive, breathing, shed a tear for me. And I was going to feel the sweet release of death. Something that I wished to avoid in life. Something I wished to control. If you meet that choice, do not take the same as me. Mortal lives are short, but they are so valuable. Ever so valuable. Cherish your moments. Fight for what you believe. And wield yourself, the daughter of death, only when you must.
Kipley wipes a tear away from her face and kind of sits up onto her knees a bit, facing him. make it worth it. I promise.
I ask you one last favor.
All right.
If you come across a land known as Leyrin, bury me next to my daughter. And if you have some, she always liked roses.
And what was her name?
I'll type it up for you.
Here's the piece of parchment.
Thank you. Kipley like reaches a hand forward, kind of to try and touch him, testing to see if it goes through him or if she's actually able to.
In this moment, yeah, you do make contact.
Oh,
However, it is very similar to last time, where you can feel it is not a physical form in the sense that there is flesh and bone, but is comprised of black sand and a allotted mass of what you can feel as you kind of squeeze the hand or shoulder to be the running black water that is before you.
yeah, she doesn't care. She just like leans in and just like hugs, wraps her arms around this massive sand and water.
Thank you.
It's gonna be all right.
I'm glad that out of my sinful and saddened life, I was able to see one last beautiful ray of starlight before I passed. You can see his shoulders beginning to slump, sand beginning to sift down to the ground. His face begins to melt, slowly dispersing as he looks at you. The last words that you hear: thank you, Kipley Commander. Thank you. And he is blown away. You can see the sand carried into the river basin, slowly beginning to trickle downstream.
She like runs her arm over her eyes, kind of just slumps down a bit, sitting crisscross, kind of picking at the sand and the ground. She just gazes up at the sky above.
You can see the stars shining bright, forming beautiful constellations, shapes, patterns. You see the light glistening off of the trees in the distance. And you can still see, although a little bit further than where you currently are now. The small wooden shack that you once had a conversation with both the Bone Mother and the Horned One. Only but the week prior. As you can feel in this moment, your eyelids rolling heavy. You blink. You open your eyes. You look around you and you can see your companions, the campfire, all asleep. See some lie injured, wounds still fresh. Others exhausted by spells and circumstance. You can see Faye sitting inside of the camp, currently asleep as well. As you turn around, you see Ivar Verdon, face first in the grass, a few feet away from camp.
Like sleeping? Or like face first? Unconscious.
What's Kipley's? What's Kipley's? What is Kipley's? This is perception. Here.
15?
Oh, my apologies. 15? Certainly doesn't look like it's a comfortable position to sleep in. Yeah. you think he was probably knocked out by something? And as you kind of drift around, it kind of blink, and as you look away and then look back, you see sitting on top of him, one leg crossed over the other, a shock of white hair, gold and yellow eyes, pale and fair skin, and still wearing black dress and black high heels. Turning to you with a smile, you see Evelyn Kroll. You have been busy. Let's take a walk, shall we?
Oh, okay. This is... Yep. Mm-hmm.
You get up.
Yeah, she gets up. Just kind of walks just a few feet away from her.
Walking, even if distant, in pace as she begins to bring you over to the cliffside, far enough away that conversation won't rouse any of the normally sleeping party members.
Kipley's gaze kind of looks back. Is he gonna be alright?
He won't remember a thing.
Are you really here?
She kind of gives you a look, question.
Are you pissed off at me?
The look of question intensifies.
Oh, fuck.
See an eyebrow raises.
Look, the whole thing with, the thing with the guards and everything, that it was a total miscommunication. I did not understand. I thought we were in the area where we could, spa and stuff. I thought it was all kinds of people, but no, I didn't know. I didn't know we had to go somewhere special to actually spa. And It kind of spiraled out of control.
What are you talking about?
Oh, what are you here for?
You know, I don't keep my eyes on you constantly. I have many different vassals I need to take care of. Although you and your group have been on the higher list for maintenance. Nevertheless, I am glad that Duradon reached out to me when you were attacked on the island. My apologies that I could not make it myself. I was not on this plane at that moment.
Which plane were you on?
Different story, different time.
Why did you send Duradon?
That is part of our conversation we shall have.
Now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm listening. I'm sorry.
You seem a bit jarred.
It's been a
Sure.
night.
She narrows her eyes. Trouble sleeping?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a deception check from Kipley. Just for the yeah. 13. Well, you can use inspiration.
Nah, that's alright. I don't think she's trying too
Hell
hard.
yeah. Hell yeah. So you like to see. She looks at you and nods. I am not here for that. Hope if you explain, I sent Duradon because you have not yet experienced much of the world as it is. And despite him being only a high C, low B ranked vassal, he is more than capable of handling most threats, as he has shown with flying colors.
Yeah. What ranking is he?
I think he recently graduated to B.
Holy shit.
Low B, but nonetheless, he is a abnormality for his awakened state.
I mean, I'm like an E.
Not anymore.
Oh.
We will need to send your group for reevaluation soon.
Oh.
But that's not why I'm here.
Okay.
I sent Duradon to protect you because you have to do something of import. You've already passed your previous tests, and regarding your patron, I'm here to give you another one. I felt something last night. In the waking hours, something changed. You changed.
Yes. I had an opportunity presented to me and I took it.
By the Bone Mother?
No. By a creature we were meant to kill.
And you spared this creature's life?
No. I may have felt after.
I'm sorry?
I didn't want it to die. I didn't like what we were doing. I'm tired of killing things that don't want to die and had no choice in the matter, and I hate doing it for fucking entertainment.
I can see that troubles you. That is a good sign. In some ways, I'm not going to give my stamp of approval for whatever you did this night. But I do understand what you mean. You see she goes and sits down on the cliff, and as she does, almost as if the ground is trying to either avoid angering her, or her natural state of being is so different from this world. You can see the grass parts, and the spot at which she sits turns to a metallic gold. She pats the ground next to her, and you can see it too responds, creating that same golden metallic, almost film covering the dirt and rock. Have a seat.
Kipley sits down.
You look down, and perhaps if your flight, your shifter nature weren't as toned and advanced as it has been of recent, you might have felt the fear of falling as you look down and see thousands of feet of nothing but air in between you and a rocky oceanside.
It's nice up here.
I don't often visit these kinds of places. It normally only causes trouble. That aside, I wanted to inform you things have changed. Not just with you. The world is progressing faster than I thought. I cannot control nor stop it all at once. Something that I was actively trying to halt its progression was the shroud.
The shroud?
Yes. That's where Ravinica was held. It's where it was held almost since the beginning of this plane. My attention was drawn elsewhere. It was clearly a diversion, because after my absence, even though it was short, news spread. And I heard the stories, and I knew that it had been freed. Loose on the oceans that we stare at as we speak.
The shroud around Ravenica has been unleashed on the rest of the world.
My dear,
A shroud around the isles themselves. The fog, dense, thick. Same one I showed you when we first met. It is not just by chance that the mountain range that locks us all inside of this ever-changing sea is covered in fog. It has properties. Warding, sealing, keeping things in. I took advantage of that long ago to make sure that it would never walk again, but here we are. I am unsure of what I once thought. I research, I learn, I handle threats. That has been what I've put my life towards over the millennia that I have existed. And yet I feel lost in this moment. Confused. My initial reaction was to go and destroy the damn thing. Send out a guild request. Maybe even gather the other sponsors. For the first time in a long time, I felt a pit in my stomach. I felt doubt. I am not often unsure of my decisions, nor do I regret almost anything that I have done in life. Even if it has led to a negative outcome, I always try and think of what is best for the future. Best for the humanoid clans. But I don't know anymore. I first set you out to learn about your patron because I knew she had a connection to it. I knew in one way or another she was a part of it. Thought maybe the more that you learned about her, the more she would reveal to you. Her plans, her desires, what Ravinica wanted.
I know I have to go there.
But you don't know why. All I know is this. One of my seers, a mage who has almost never been wrong in her entire life, came to me a few nights prior, and she saw a vision, a choice. After she explained what she saw, I knew it was out of my hands. Not fully, but I could not act. Otherwise, I would cause only chaos and harm. Duradon will stay with you. But I hope you remember what I said to you before I left and before you departed the island.
Yep.
When you step foot upon its shores, when you know what needs to be done, and when you have a decision before you, call to me first. Let me know of your choice. so I can stand by it. Or if need be, so I can stop it. I'm deeply concerned. I see much. I know much. And I am almost never in the dark, but I am dancing in a void of uncertainty. The one thing I know is that change will come, no matter what you choose. That was made clear. She looks over to you and you can see worry. A look of insight as she tries to read Kipley in this moment.
Yeah, her eyes are like locked onto the sand or the rock and just always fucking deep in thought. And
Windows XP never
Man.
stops loading.
you were right to send him. To send Eridon.
Forces do not want you to reach the island.
Who does
They
it?
will continue. Forces,
Oh,
she said.
forces.
Forces unknown to you do not want you to see its shores. Whether it was some believe it to be chance, but I don't. Both times you leave Paradise Peak shore, you are attacked, mere miles off of its coast. Once by a small brigade of pirates, that I could believe to be circumstance. But the island of Mimics does not mobilize for no reason. Chasing down its prized possession does not make sense for it to come that close to our shores, knowing it would be destroyed if it did.
You think the island was coming after just us?
I think you were one of many it wished to stop, and it simply found itself in a convenient path leading towards you. Not just you. Your group is filled with more interesting individuals than I first thought.
Tell me about it. The heralds just fucking took one of them.
As I have heard. I assure you, we will do our best to try and locate him. Find him. It is one of our higher concerns at the moment. Not just because he is one of our vassals, but because with the Herald's pronounced goal of creating a second arcane detonation, the stealing of multiple artificers at the same time does not bode well. There was an attempt on Carter Binstrom's life that night.
Holy shit.
A few hours ago. He survived. Mostly uninjured, but it is clear that they are trying to snuff out those who would know how to stop an arcane detonation, while also building up and collecting those who would know how to make one.
Of all the mysteries of the world that I have at my fingertips, the heralds are ones that dance outside my reach. If you can, I ask you learn about them with Duradon while on your journey. Any information can be crucial. And I ask you to keep in mind who and what your patron is as you come to know more about them. I only share a small portion of your thoughts, feelings, senses. I do so to make sure all of my vassals stay safe. They are not lost to greed, confusion, lies, deceit. I felt you waver for a moment, so I came to check to make sure you were still you. Is that as it stands?
I mean, I feel like I'm still me. But this gift I was given, they said it was permanent, and I don't know what the outcome is yet. They just said it would. He kept apologizing and said it was. Well, he made it sound really fucking bad, but you know, I felt bad. He looked like he was. What am I saying? I don't. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Would you want to see this gift disappear?
No.
Are you sure?
No. There's a part of me that really needs it.
I understand.
But I'm also terrified of it.
That I understand more. Know this. I will try and catch you when you fall. But only you determine the height of which that you fall. There is a lot being placed on your shoulders. Many fires being burnt beneath you. Try not to get caught in all the smoke that is rising. There will be much to come.
Guess I'll have to rise above it. You know, like wings and... It was a bad joke.
I understood the joke, yes. No. It was funny. If I could laugh, I would, but...
Oh, wow. What's that like?
It's not that I'm incapable, it's just I'm... in between multiple things at once at the moment. having multiple conversations at the same time is not exactly the easiest to show emotion in all of them.
And that I do understand.
You are one of the rare ones that do. But no, I am a call away. And don't rely on Duradon to call, in case something goes wrong. As much as he is dependable, I don't think there will be much for me to save by the time he would reach out. If you feel anything off, concerned about you hurting your friends, any danger you might place those around you or the world in, I can help.
That's strangely comforting.
See a smile across her face. I am strict. I have cut loose many vassals before who I did not deem fitting of my role. I have silenced numerous voices and committed many evils under the pretense of justice. But I know what it's like to be so desperate you put your hands in the fate of others, to intertwine yourself with something else, someone else, in an attempt to live, do greater things. And I will continue to help as many as I can who follow in the same footsteps. Well, it's getting late, and he should be waking up soon. Do take care of yourself.
Thank you,
If you-
Evelyn.
Of course, if you need to head back to the island, do so. If you need to venture out, I will understand all the same.
I
But
think
just remember, you have friends, both here and everywhere. As long as you carry my namesake, those under my watch will offer their aid.
Kipley gives a bit of a nod.
You know, I ever do so hate this part. And you see she just reaches out and taps her shoulder. And I need you to go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw.
Whoa.
15? Do you want to keep it?
Sure.
Cool. You keep most of what has been said. The uncertainty and concern that was spread from Evelyn regarding Ravinica. The choice that you have to make. Those sections of that conversation are wiped from your memory. as is the part where she simply walks off of the cliff in front of you and vanishes. As is the part where you are delivered back to your sleeping, the small lodge and tent that was set up for you. But she does leave most of the conversation. Having both your mind altered and changed in many ways in one night probably would be a lot to bear for most humanoids. Even if it was for the better, there was still change. However, as we end tonight's session and you awake the next morning, Kipley Gamort is no longer humanoid. And your mind and body feel different and grow from their experience, even it was ever so brief. As you wake up the next morning, for now, until your next or permanent death, Kipley Gamorta is undead.
Fuck me.
As a small portion, even if it is just a fragment of lichdom, begins to seep in for what gift you chose to accept and what path you decided to walk down. Because of that, things are made clear. You understand more about yourself and about what you might have to do. But your humanity fades, even if it is only just the flesh. And who knows what might come in the future? What other changes? What other gifts, curses, pacts might change her? Fortunately, we'll have to find that out later, as we will end your solo session here.
Oh my god.
I hope you enjoyed. That was certainly a fun one to plan for.
Megan's brain could not keep up with I'm probably the dumbest player in our group.
I wouldn't say that.
Sometimes I am thick and not. Holy crap.
Hey, sometimes you're thick, and sometimes you describe a eldritch being as arching their back and immediately regret it. So here we are.
That was my favorite part.
God damn you, Jared. It took so much effort to keep my voice from not laughing and shaking when I saw that pop up in chat.
Hey, listen, you did it to yourself.
I am thinking it's a 13-foot creature. It's going to have to hunch down and arch down in order to get closer. I'm not thinking throwing it back as an eldritch being.
Look.
Shit.
I visualized it
perfectly. They were eldritch.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing with that tone. See, in my mind, in Dom's mind, when I think of words, I picture it in my head before I think of the words. So I'm trying to catch up with myself as I'm visualizing it. And in my head, it's scary. And in your heads, it's sexy. And we have a problem there. And I will work on that problem, goddammit.
Oh, I liked it. It was a good visual.
Oh,
It's
don't, Jake. God damn. All right,
nice.
Megan. Didn't know Plug was chill like that.
Oh.
But I will say, I am so very happy that this campaign has been as impactful as it has been, for the fact that I remembered what happened literally over a year ago crystal clear in my memory when I had to fill you in on that. Because even I, as I was saying, was like, oh, what exactly did happen? Oh, that's right. I didn't look at notes or anything for that shit. That was just off the top of my head.
I'm shocked. Man, I felt so bad. I was like, shit,
Well, no, because
this
I
is
remember
supposed
the
to be
first
like an
time, the first time I had it appear, it was meant to just look like a monster, because it was a monster. But it had deeper meaning. But we like to play a little fancies. It was gonna be Ezra no matter what. It was just depending on how you would have revealed the form. Fighting it would have done the same. Hugging it would have done the same. Thinking, oh, that's pretty. Done the same. Just not in the way I thought it was gonna go down, but still, nonetheless, the same.
Oh man.
Yeah,
So
that
much happened.
you did. I really wanted to give a little bit of closure for the Lich instead of just here's a gift, goodbye. And I thought, hey, he already gave up the curse of lichdom. I'll give him a little bit of a human moment before he goes.
I legit had my eyes were a little wet. It was so sad. It
Oh,
was so
hey,
sad when he was
some,
oh.
some one of the things that I hate the most is immortality and how it's represented in D&D. Because most evil beings, when they become immortal, go immediately into like the I shall take over the world. But I wanted a sad version where it's like, I never wanted this for myself. I wanted my sick and dying child to be able to live a full and happy life. And if that means I have to sacrifice multiple villages of people to do so, I will do so. It's just sad that unfortunately his daughter died before he could do it, and he just got lichdom by himself.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, but now you got that curse, and I will mark that down in your sheet before I forget that you are no longer humanoid.
Okay.
That is the first of your bearings that you will get from this lovely little gift that you got.
Okay.
Which there's some benefit. You can't be affected by certain spells that would have affected you before, like Charm Person, things like that.
Fuck charm person.
There is downsides.
I don't. There can't be worse than charm person.
You say that. You say that now. You say that now, but it can be so much worse.
Oh man,
I think-
guys.
I think you get fucked by healing. A lot of healing. I
Yeah,
think
okay,
specifies
that's-
that it can't be undead.
So wait.
We'll see about those portions.
Wait. So.
I mean, I don't know what you are, but
Can I still heal people, or does that even work anymore?
Who knows, man?
Oh man. Oh man.
I will tell you, it's not. I'm not gonna fuck with your healing.
Okay.
You healing other people, not a problem.
Okay. I don't mind
I
either
way.
Jared. Man, see, here's the thing. I could just hold this over your head for like a week and a half, or I could be nice and tell you now. I don't know which is which, but no, I'm feeling generous. I'm not gonna fuck with your ability to heal. It will impact many other things that affect undead that are almost equally as bad as not being able to heal, though. And you will see those impacted very soon, both in RP and in combat. But
Okay.
I will put both on your D&D Beyond character sheet, and I will message you in our private channels afterwards. As now that you have the fragment, there is a set condition. It's not just something you can go into whenever. But you now have the ability to attempt to become the daughter of death every now and again. It's not 100% chance,
Mm-hmm.
but the path is open. And as I think I messaged you earlier, if you wanted it to be a more definite thing at later levels, we can make it happen.
Okay. I have a lot to think about. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
I do have that effect on people. I apologize. What was that thing that I said, Jared? Every second that Grim wasn't running, I was getting closer. Different circumstance, but still the same. Oh wait, did I posted his? Okay, I did post his spelling. Okay, good. Yep, Vander Yondu.
Is that the right spelling?
Yeah. I took his last name inspiration from a character that existed in a previous campaign.
Oh, he's so sad looking.
I looked for sad boys.
But
I looked for broken boys and I found one.
yeah, Megan's such a sucker for it. I hate it, but I am.
I've learned this about you the more and more that I share characters that have a somewhat sad backstory.
I'm like instantly
Vince, who
like
is an asshole to everyone, but is like tragic because his friends die, and you're like, oh, I like you. The baby, I want to fix the baby. Or, you know, when you dice into Lich because you thought it was sad that he was a humanoid that died, even though it was technically an undead evil thing that had to kill hundreds to become that way. Yeah.
We all make mistakes.
I genuinely hope you know how much I love Kipley as a character. It's not even entertaining. It's just fascinating to watch you come up with responses that I either know exactly what you're going to say or you just curveball me out of nowhere and I'm just like, oh my god. Like, I plan for a lot of things because I know there's a lot of people in this campaign who like being on the creative side with their choices. And then shit hits the fan, I'm like, huh. You know? There's such thing as same shit, different toilet, but this is different shit, different zip code. It's ew, oof. I enjoy it.
Feel good. I love being compared to shit.
No. Let me be clear. Not in any way, shape, or form was that depraving statement.
No, yeah, well, I don't always mean to throw things off. It just
You've seen Jared in this campaign do some heinous shit and some chaotic shit, both as Durdon and Maeve. I judge him fully, but I judge everyone else equally, and the fact that I don't.
I do what I do to survive, alright? And most of the time, I still don't.
Don't do that. Hey, 2 of your characters lived a full life, alright? 3 of your characters live a full life in my campaigns. Only 1 died. Only 2 died. 1.5.
Grace died. She's in this campaign.
Maeve
has died. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, everyone else is alive.
Madam Maple lived. I lived. Or not I, excuse me. Erevan lived. Fucking Zali lived. You have a whole fucking menagerie of people who lived. Tragic lives, but lived.
Very tragic lives.
Well,
if they lived,
protectors.
I did, unfortunately. I built a lot of protectors. I think that's
only protectors.
3 clerics, a paladin, a wizard, and a bard sorcerer.
I like the last one.
Erevan was that guy. If you all got to meet Vi would. I think you all would have killed Vi. I don't know that this party would have fucked you.
Yeah, I also don't think you would have ever been allowed on the island.
That's fair.
I think they would have been like, "You're related to who? Your parent who? You do what? Oh nah, you ain't even getting past the gnome at the docks, brother.
Who your
You're going
parents?
home."
Mhm.
Oh.
Who's Vi's parents? Or who are you
Ah.
parent of?
Well, you can explain if you want, Jay.
So so it's a complicated family history.
As is all of Jared's characters.
Vi was the brother of Winter Zolly. They shared a mother in common, had different fathers. Eravin's or Vi's mom was a powerful archmage that was corrupted due to the loss of her second husband. And when she was unable to use her arcane abilities to bring back her second husband, she turned to the divine, and when the divine were unable to answer,